Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism are religions that originated in the Indian subcontinent. The International Temples Convention and Expo, Varanasi 2023 will cater to this agenda. The first convention and expo of its kind, 𝗬𝗃𝗍𝗁 Varanasi 2023 will provide a dedicated stage to participants from India and across the globe.
श्री कोविलूर स्वामी जी कि वो प्लीज यहाँ आए और एक स्पेशल एड्रेस दें हमारी ऑडियंस को। दोस्तों जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत कीजिए स्वामी जी का।
உலகெல்லாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதற்கரியவன் நில உலாவிய நீர்மலிவேணியன் அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்தாடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவாம் சொற்றுணை வேதியன் சோதிவானவன் பொற்றுணை திருந்தடி பொருந்த கைத்தொழ கற்றுணை பூட்டியோர் கடலில் பாய்ச்சினும் நற்றுணையாவது நமச்சிவாயவே. கோவிலூர் ஆண்டவர் திருவடிகள் போற்றி, 𝗵𝗵𝗃 சுவாமிகள் திருவடிகள் போற்றி. I am very grateful to the organizers of this Temple Connect, and I am very happy to share the dais with the Honorable Lieutenant Governor of Telangana. I am a very great fan of her father, Kumari Anandan. I used to listen to his speeches 40 years back and would love to hear his voice again. I am the 14th Pontiff of Kovilur Madalayam. Kovilur Madalayam is the only Vedanta mutt in the world which taught Vedanta in Tamil. Adi Shankara's Vedanta philosophy, it was not a translation, it had a syllabus of 16 books, and Sringeri Mutt has been our Guru Peedam. Our fifth Pontiff took Diksha in Sringeri, and we are very closely connected to Sringeri Mutt, and the best part of our mutt was it taught Vedanta without any discrimination of caste or creed. Some of our Vedanta students in the past have belonged to certain communities which were not even allowed to study in a formal school. People with no literacy have come to our mutt. They have been initially taught Tamil, and then they will learn Vedanta, and the 16 books have to be completed. After they complete that, they will go and teach their students. That's how it was spread. Our mutt also was involved in a very great community service, which is what brings me to this dais today. It inspired. Our community is a very small community. We belong to Nagarattar community. This mutt is, the pontiff of this mutt has always been from the community, Nagarattar community. It's a very small community which has a current population of under 100,000. We are probably equal to Parsis or a little over Parsis. We were 𝗖𝗵𝗲𝗁 by birth, and during the time of our first pontiff, he built a temple in Kovilur in a jungle, and that temple took about 100 years. And 15 years back, we tried to estimate what it will cost in terms of money and time. And the great 𝗵𝗵𝗁 𝗵𝗲, who made the Tiruvallur statue in Kanyakumari, he said, you give me 400 crores, but I can't guarantee finishing the temple. That was 15 years back. That kind of temple doesn't exist. It can't be built today. It's not possible. Okay. Now that Swamiji didn't stop with building that one temple. Whoever turned out to be a follower to our Swamiji, he inspired them to go and perform consecration ceremonies in multiple temples. According to statistics, about 120 out of 276 temples where the Nayanmars, 3 saints of Saivism, who have sung in praise of Lord, have sung in 274 temples. Out of those 274 temples, 120 temples have been repaired, reconstructed, and consecrations have happened. 5 generations, even today, some of the temples are even today being consecrated by this community. So I don't want to estimate or put a number to what it would have cost them. It's an attitude. Like in Mahabharata, when Karna was about to die, Krishna asked him, what do you want to get as a boon? He says, if I am going to be born again, you give me a mind to donate. I want to be as charitable as I am today. I don't want to have somebody being turned down saying that I can't give you some money. So that is the attitude of this community. This community also had one important background. Lord Chettinad, who is a saint. Today, the Guru Puja ceremonies have started in the place like 𝗵𝗲𝗁, and today is his birthday. And I am here on this day when Chettinad was born. And Chettinad, as per the epical knowledge, is the reincarnation of 𝗵𝗲𝗁. 𝗵𝗲𝗁 was traveling around the world with Shiva, and he liked this 𝗵𝗲𝗁. And he wanted to stay in 𝗵𝗲𝗁 for some time. And Shiva said, you be born as a human being and enjoy the life in this place and then come back to me. You all know 𝗵𝗲𝗁 was the first and final CFO for the world. He was the CFO for Shiva, and he was also the trustee for Shiva. The money that is owned by Shiva is not owned by 𝗵𝗲𝗁. And therefore, the relevance of the story is 𝗵𝗲𝗁 was born as Chettinad, and Chettinad was born in a Nagaratar family. Therefore, I am not surprised that this community has undertaken consecration of 120 temples, because it is the DNA of 𝗵𝗲𝗁, where you spend money on charity, particularly related to religious charity and education. This inspiration came from our mutt, as per records, in the last 200 years. Our mutt is 214 years old. So, coming to Temple Connect. As our Honorable Governor said, I am also from Tamil Nadu, and I am unable to share the bubbling enthusiasm of Sri Dharma Reddy. He is the 𝗵𝗲𝗁 and we are 𝗂𝗽𝗓 in Tamil Nadu. Our temples, though they are very rich in culture, tradition, wealth, everything, we have 43,000 temples in Tamil Nadu under 𝗵𝗃 control. And they own something like 478,000 acres of land and 22,600 buildings and 33,000 land sites, that is real estate. But if you go to any of these temples, you won't see that they own so much of property. There is something wrong with that. So I went to 𝗵𝗃 website and saw why this 𝗵𝗃 came into existence. So what I found was very interesting. There were many complaints during the British regime that there is a lot of mismanagement in temples by the trustees. Okay. So, if I have a dispute with somebody, I go to court. So, the court says, okay, you are fighting, let me take over the property. This is exactly what happened with 𝗳𝗃𝗁𝗃. So, the dispute resolution mechanism is such that if the judges are allowed to take over all the real estate, judges will be richer than the litigants. Nobody will go to the court. But it so happened, and in the 2014 judgment in Chidambaram Nataraja temple, the Supreme Court said 𝗳𝗃𝗁𝗃 can be only a transit passenger. It can't be a permanent resident. But nothing has shaken the resolve of 𝗳𝗃𝗁𝗃, and they are still issuing notices to temples which are not yet covered. So they want to increase the strength of the temples under 𝗳𝗃𝗁𝗃 control. Now, I don't want to go very deep into how it is managed and what is happening. Suffice it to say, in the last budget, the annual budget for the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department is 400 crores. And as per the budget, 140 crores have gone to pay the salaries for the officials. 1 rupee is not spent on the priests or anybody. So the 250 crore is remaining, on which 56 crore was budgeted to be spent on upkeep and consecration of temples, on which the charged amount, actually money spent, was only 6 crore. So exactly what is happening? So what was the intent of the 𝗳𝗃𝗁𝗃 management of the temples? If I can say, I give you X amount of rupee to perform a particular activity, and you take the money and not perform the activity, in a simple word, it is breach of trust. It's a criminal offense. And all these temples are endowed with lot of property by the devotees. And if I go to the temple and put some money in the hundi, I assume that it is going to the temple development. But 12% of that is going to 𝗳𝗃𝗁𝗃 to pay their executive officer, to pay to the joint commissioner, chief commissioner, everybody. And then there is an audit fee. Why would the temple pay an audit fee? It's happening. So hundi revenue goes, and then the 𝗳𝗃𝗁𝗃 will say, I have to fix the fair rent, so on the income, I have to collect more revenue. So it's a revenue collector for the government, while the money is not spent on the upkeep of temples. I will come to the crux. Why I said we are kusela? There are, out of 43,000 temples, roughly 38,000 temples are there without even one puja every day. There are some statistics which say some 13,000 temples have vanished. They are not even existent today. They were in existence some time back. They no longer exist. So what do we do with that? These temples were not built for fun. They were built with a purpose. People have migrated from the villages, okay? And the temples are not, they have not kept up with the tradition. There is no puja. And government itself is saying that we want to fund at least some temples where we can perform one puja every day. They allocated a very large amount of money, 120 crores. I was impressed. Then you go to the fine print, they say they are allocating 2 lakhs per temple. That's more interesting. The fund is not over. That 2 lakhs will be deposited in a bank, and the interest therefrom will be utilized to perform one puja every year. The maximum interest you will get from a bank deposit is 8%. So on 16,000 rupees, you have to perform one puja every day for 365 days. So that's roughly about 50 rupees. You can't buy one garland for 50 rupees today, anyway. Probably you can buy some camphor. That's not one puja. There is no naivedyam. So how do we, this is all very distressing. for somebody who is in the area of religion, who want to promote religion, and who feels genuinely religion is the only way in which we can lower the crime rate, our social harmony will be maintained. I am very disturbed. There are two options. One, go to the government and say you have to do something. And the government is, as the governor said, it won't be too sensitive. So are we going to remain idle? Can't we do something? So I thought, as a token, as a pilot, we will do one puja, at least. And we did a budget. We recently built a Nataraja temple as a replica of Chidambaram temple. And we know what sort of difficulties arise in running a temple, based on which we did a small budget. And I decided we will provide a nucleus of 25 lakhs every year, not a deposit like the government. We will create a trust to do daily puja, at least one puja every day. So what I want to do, I'll run through the sequence a little faster. The temples have got two problems. Money is the last of the problem. Money will come if there is performance, like you saw the Tirupati presentation. If so many devotees are coming and their annual budget is 4,400 crore, it's no surprise. But this temple is going to have some difficulty. So what we want to do is, we thought it through. We found that there is no local support. Why there is no local support? Because it is centrally managed. People don't know who is managing the temple, to whom they should go and represent. So now what we have decided is, I belong to 𝗵𝗃𝗃 district. I will go around. I will check with the HR&C department how many temples are there in 𝗵𝗃𝗃 district. We will take a list. We will do a survey. At least the temples which are in good repair. We don't want to go into a repairing mode. We have some education institutions who will support. We will start work like Lord or Saint 𝗵𝗃𝗃 do the repairing work, that cleanup. The temples will be cleaned up, and then we will start performing puja. For performing puja, there is a problem. Money is the last problem, as I said. There is no priest available, because the priests are paid a princely sum of 8,000, 9,000 a month. Nobody wants to do it. When I checked with some priests, they said, we are not even getting married because we are priests, because our income is very low. So I thought, I did a survey. People are very happy if they are paid 25,000. An engineer gets 25,000 if he joins the Infosys. A polytechnic guy gets at least 18,000. If I pay 25,000 to a priest, probably he'll come. But if I want to do only one puja for a temple, let me start with 4 temples. One priest, he will go around in a two-wheeler, he will do one puja, stay there for 2 hours, do the second puja, stay there for 2 hours, and then he does the similar exercise in the evening. So how do we get the priests? The existing priests are either old or not too interested. So we have started work on running a Veda Pathshala at a personal level, but we find that personal level is a full-time study. People are not interested. So we want to run online courses. We can't do full-scale Veda Pathshala. Veda Pathshala full-scale is not needed to perform puja in a temple. We only do agamas. To perform puja in a temple, it takes 6 months course. That's the course curriculum developed. In 6 months, we can train probably 100 students with a guarantee of job. If they are provided a guarantee of job, say 25,000, 30,000 plus food, because the second problem faced by the temples is the prasad. There is no cook available to make the prasad. We are getting priests but not a 𝗬𝗵𝗲𝗁 who will cook for the deity. So what we want to do is, we have checked, and there are some priests who are willing to do this cooking. They want 50,000. I said, okay, we'll engage those people. We'll create mass kitchens, engage them. They will do puja as per the temple, the convention. They'll make prasadam for 50 temples, 100 temples in this location. And we will provide a carrier with the priest. He will go and distribute one part in the local community, one part will be his food. This he will do 4 times a day. So the prasad is taken care, priest is taken care of. One missing link is, in a Shiva temple, we need to sing 𝗬𝗏𝗻 𝗬𝗏. That Vodwar training also has to be done. Fortunately for us, we got one of the best Vodwars in the country, Dr. 𝗕𝗘𝗟𝗏 𝗬𝗏, who was with me along with the others when we presented Sengol to our Honorable Prime Minister in Delhi. He is ready to do online course. So we are going to conduct an online course whereby we don't want to train Vodwars. We want people who are there, devotees, to come and sing the 𝗬𝗏𝗻 and 𝗬𝗏. So they can attend the course, they can come, and in the local temples, we want to create a management structure at the local level. 4 people in every temple will do the management. And they will inform us that the priest has not come, he has been lethargic, whatever is the complaint. We will take care. If we do this as a pilot project, starting 6 months from now, within the next 1 year, I am very positive we will have 100 temples covered under the scheme. If we can do 1 to 100 will take probably 1 year, but the 100 to 1,000 will take less than that. And unfortunately, Mr. Dharma Reddy is not there. I want this Temple Connect to connect all the temples which have got excess money, which can be put on temples which are already built and which are very popular. They can, see, funds can be provided, volunteers can provide the funds, volunteers can come and work in the temples, volunteers can eventually take over the local temples. Local volunteers will take over the local temples eventually. We don't have to manage the temples after 2-3 years. They will manage the temple. This is my theme, where I don't want to go and beg the government, okay, you please let us do this management and all that. I don't want your endowment, I don't want anything. I just don't want your executive officer to come here as an officer. Let him come as a devotee, I have no problem. This is the basic idea which I want to convey in this Temple Connect. I'm not too sure if I have been, positive enough. But one thing I will say, like Tirupati Devasthanam is doing, every one of us have to start these 5 activities. Veda Padasala is needed. 𝗬𝗏𝗻 𝗬𝗏 has to be taught. Temple music, Nadaswaram Tabla has to be done. Our mutt has got the school since our 12th pontiff. Last 22 years we have been running the schools. We provide scholarship to them and they come and stay in our mutt. We provide them food and accommodation and also a stipend, and they learn the music and then they go and perform everywhere. They make 30,000-40,000 a month after 3 years to 4 years of training. This is also needed. And we also have to do temple dance. They become cream in the cake. But the basic thing is your priest training, Vodwa training, Nadaswaram and Tabla. These 4 things have to be done. And every one of you who can support this activity, we are interested in collaborating with any one of you. We have no problem. And in fact, I don't want to be the engine of this activity. There is no need for me to be the engine. I just become a catalyst. Anybody can take over the engine. I can be a compartment. There is no problem. So with these words, I am very grateful again for giving me this kind of opportunity. One area which I left out, probably I should highlight, is the governor said every temple has got a miracle. I just want to mention one miracle and how that temple can attract a crowd. I want your inputs on that. See, there is a list of temples called 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗧𝗏, 7 temples. There was a king called 𝗬𝗵𝗲𝗁𝗃𝗧𝗏 in Tiruvallur, and he was assisting Indra in demolishing the demons in a war. So Indra asked him, what do you want as a gift? He said, the Murti that you are praying, that Tyagaraja Murti, is what I want as a gift. So Indra said he cannot give it because it was given by Brahma to Vishnu, and from Vishnu it came to Devendra. So Devendra did a trick. He made 6 similar idols and put all the 7 in front of Musukunda and said, if you select the right one, you get the right one. He chose the right one. He was very devoted, he chose the right one. So Devendra, in an emotional mood, he gave all the 7 to him. All the 7 are installed in and around Tiruvallur. 7 temples are there. And the key part is, like in Kashi, we see the Shivalinga as Swayambhu. It was not man-made. But you can see lot of Swayambhu lingams, but you cannot see one Vigraha which is not made in this world. It has traveled all the way from Devendra Lokam. This entire 7 Tyagarajas have traveled from Indra Lokam to this country. You can't see this anywhere. It's not a story. You go and see this Tyagaraja anywhere, it doesn't look like any of the Panchaloka Vigrahas. It's different. And the unfortunate thing is, I visited at least 4 of these temples. There's a miracle happening in the temple, but if you see somebody else as a devotee in the temple, it becomes a miracle. There's nobody there. Why is it happening? Have we not promoted enough? I would say yes. Because I went to one temple, my guru, I would say, Dr. 𝗀𝗀 is there. He is an exponent in Periya Purana. After Kripananda Variyar, he is the best exponent of Periya Purana. And every day I listen to his speech. And he was the one who put it in my mind, and I got inspired and went to the temple. If I can be inspired at my age to go to this temple and see what it is, probably if we present it well in an audio-visual format, in an animated setup, probably our young children will be interested. We have to promote it and bring back the crowd to the temples where at least the miracles have happened. I can very easily say there are some 100 temples where miracles have happened. 3 temples where dead persons have been reborn. And a temple door which was closed and could not be opened, it was opened by Tirunavakarasar by singing 10 songs. Can you believe? It is there. I went to the temple, I checked around the temple employees, which is their door. They couldn't say. Such is the pathetic situation of the temples. So, let's all connect together. I want a tourism focused on our miracles, the temple's importance, so that we bring back the crowd to the temples and involve the local people in the management of the temples. With this, I will conclude my speech by saying, வேண்டத்தக்கது அறிவோயினி வேண்ட முழுதும் தறிவோயினி வேண்டற்கரியது அயன்மார்க்கரியோயினி வேண்டி என்னை பணிகொண்டார்.